Hello and welcome to This Week in Wrestling, the show that brings you the topics, the stories, the pay-per-views, and the highlights of all of the week in wrestling. This is Billy Gibbs and this is This Week in Wrestling. Let's get into the first topic then. Let's just talk about Money in the Bank. There's a full detailed video of this from explaining my experience of being at the arena and watching the show live. There's a link in the description down below to that video if you want to go and watch it. Money in the Bank happened this past Saturday. It was a great event. It was monumental. It was considered a success by the WWE, and hopefully there are more UK shows to come from it. We saw the likes of Seth Rollins retain his new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns take a pinfall loss for the first time in 3 years as well in this Money in the Bank pay-per-view. The Usos claimed victory over the rest of the Bloodline and have held a tribal court on Friday Night SmackDown. This has been pre-recorded before that, so we'll have no idea what's transpired on that tribal court, but it should be exciting nonetheless. We obviously had the Raw after that Money in the Bank show with a decent amount happening on the show. We had the likes of Cody Rhodes try and make a run-in on Seth Rollins, maybe to claim a title opportunity, but Brock Lesnar made his return to Raw. The reason for not being at Money in the Bank was discussed that WWE thought the returns of Drew McIntyre and John Cena were enough to satisfy the UK fans. Brock Lesnar might have been just a bit too much, in my opinion, not enough. Brock Lesnar would have added and put that little cherry on the icing of the cake. Brock Lesnar made his return though on Raw and obviously stakes a claim to potentially having that third match, which has a stipulation to it on SummerSlam. Looking exciting indeed for those two. Can't forget New Japan Pro Wrestling though with Eddie Kingston bringing home New Japan Strong World Championship. Big victory for Eddie Kingston and a statement win at that. And maybe he will stake his claim at staying in the G1 for New Japan this year. Maybe even have a little break for AEW and sticking with New Japan for a little bit would be good for his career, because at the moment AEW isn't really fulfilling him. Maybe he will be a BCC's member in the Blood and Guts match coming up in I think a few weeks' time. Be interesting to see if he's the fifth member added to that team. That leads me straight on to AEW Dynamite, of course, with the headlines being MJF and Adam Cole being the highlights, being the best tag team in the world, and should continue being so, even though they're supposed to be in a feud, and I feel like someone's shouting bloody horror outside my room. It should be the case that this should stick around for a while, and they should hold off on having a title match very soon. I think this should continue going for a few more months, because this is gold, and Adam Cole and MJF look like they're having a blast doing so, filming a couple of vignettes in the gym, a couple of comedy moments, comparing a decently sized overweight man in the gym to Tony Schiavone, which was our highlight. MJF and Adam Cole bringing the celebrations to a birthday, of course, as a highlight as well. Can't just forget that AEW Dynamite gives a little bit of an interesting take that Don Callis may be aligning with Chris Jericho, or the other way around. There are also a lot of rumours circulating that Kota Ibushi could be also another member of the Blood and Guts match, alongside Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Adam Page. Of course, they are going head against Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Takeshita as well. Could be intriguing. AEW Collision still doing bad in the ratings. This past episode, Saturday, clocked in at just over 400,000 viewers. Not amazing for the show that I think is going to become the B show of AEW, the show that's exclusive to CM Punk. Of course, people like Malachi Black have also requested to be solely on the show. That could help boost its ratings, because of course you need two big shows. You don't just want Dynamite being a head show ahead of Collision. You want Collision to feel as big as Dynamite, and currently it doesn't. It is CM Punk's show, but it's just that. Other than that, there's not much going for it. Collision, though, could be a fun place for a lot of people to go to, but as it stands, not the best in the ratings. Also in AEW news, looks like Colt Cabana has got a new role and will be a coach / ring producer for the matches in AEW. No idea whose matches he's actually produced so far, but this could be an interesting move for Colt Cabana. Not always seen on TV in AEW, has done a few bits in Ring of Honor, but could he be the new spark that AEW need in their producing of matches? They don't really need help in producing their matches, but Colt Cabana could use and create a new creative spin on some of these matches, being a veteran of the business himself. Of course, he won't be on Collision. And we're going to move into a bit of Ring of Honor news, with the news that looks like Claudio Castagnoli could be defending his Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship against Mark Briscoe. This could be a massive story point in the story of Mark Briscoe. Could he honour his brother's legacy, Jay Briscoe, in capturing that Ring of Honor Championship that obviously Jay Briscoe won himself a few years back? Could he honour that legacy and pave a new story in the Ring of Honor career? Or will Castagnoli continue his reign as Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion? It would be interesting to see, but I wouldn't mind either outcome. Claudio has been presented very well in both AEW and Ring of Honor since his departure from WWE, and it looks like he could be continuing that reign, or will Mark Briscoe overcome and create a new story for the Briscoes? Interesting news as well that Survivor Series has been announced for this year, and so has its full conclusion that there will be a go-home show in the same arena. It is Chicago. Survivor Series goes to Chicago for the third time in its history. Will Survivor Series be its Survivor Series self, or will War Games be added to that as well? We'd like to know your thoughts on the comments down below, whether you think it should be or not. And that brings me to the end of the first edition of This Week in Wrestling. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like. Please smash that like button, of course. Please subscribe for more, because there's a lot more content on the way. Please don't forget as well to comment down below what you would like to see on this channel regarding wrestling content. Would you like some quizzes? Would you like some game shows? Would you like some top 10 lists? There is a top 10 list on the way. Not the exact top 10 list. It'll be the top 10 WWE superstars that deserve pushes. That will be coming later in the week on one of the Monday, Wednesday or Saturday uploads. Look out for that video as well. There'll be a lot more coming. I can't wait to keep this going and keep this momentum going. These videos have been uploaded and recorded and they're coming straight for your eyes and your viewers' pleasures, hopefully. Please subscribe if you are into that. Please subscribe, of course, for more content and all this loveness. Please support as much as you can. This is a big moment and hopefully a big step in a good direction. And if you've enjoyed this series, please let me know. And how you let me know you like the series, give it a like button. Give it a like. Thank you so much. Oh my god! Thank you so much for watching this first episode of This Week in Wrestling. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, ta-ra! Also, look at that intro. Did you notice it's from somewhere?